Hey everybody, Jason and John here for Everyday Crypto, sponsored by CryptoTaxShield.com. Jason, thanks man for sitting down today. Appreciate you taking some time. I got a cool topic I know you're going to love today.
Well, John, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet. I want to do a little bit of a kind of a cool thing. I think a lot of people are missing some of the points of some of the basics. I want to do a little bit of a deep dive into decentralized money and why and financials and why it's important and sort of maybe if we can tie that into what's going on in the world right now to help illustrate why it's such a cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I could, please, if you find any educational or entertainment value in this, please like and subscribe. It helps us help you, and we truly appreciate it. And we are not financial advisors, so please do your own research.
Yep.
So centralized money, banks, governments, right? We're seeing currently, as we speak, the negative side of that. You have people's bank accounts being locked up across the globe, even from places that you don't live in.
Right.
This is the problem, right? And also you have the problem of massive, uncontrolled printing off of money,
Right.
which dilutes the value of the money you hold.
Mm-hmm.
Even within crypto, you've got stable coins. So within decentralized finance, the lifeblood is stable coins. Guys like me use stable coins all the time. We hardly ever go into the US dollar. We just post up in the stable coins and we do activities through there, usually earning interest. But even within crypto, the top two stable coins, which would be USDT, which is Tether, and USDC, which is the big one that's owned by Coinbase.
Right.
But those are, which shock most crypto guys, those are centralized.
Oh.
So those have the same negative side effects as centralized money. So technically, if you own Tether and you do something they don't like, they can lock it up. They can stop it.
Yeah.
Which brings me to Terra Luna.
Ah, yes.
We've talked about Terra Luna several times on this channel.
Yep.
I've been screaming from the rooftops. Terra Luna is the biggest kept secret in crypto for the last year. And now it's really showing why. While the rest of the market is in correction or pretty uncertain times, Terra Luna is setting all new all-time highs.
Awesome.
And the reason why is because their stable coin, which is Terra, it's completely decentralized.
Right.
Completely. So much so that the Terra Luna blockchain is completely structured around that.
Gotcha.
So most blockchains have stable coins and use them, but it's not the focus, right?
Right.
Terra Luna is building out what I believe is going to be the most trusted DeFi chain that most likely institutions will go to.
Okay.
Super safe, super fast, and it's all about business, right?
Right.
So within the Terra Luna Terra Luna ecosystem, every time you create a UST, $1 of their stable coins, they burn $1 worth of Terra Luna forever out of the ecosystem.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So if you just look at the graph of UST, which is US Terra,
yeah,
it goes like this, and then all of a sudden in the last 3 months, it's like a 45-degree angle straight up.
Right.
And this is why Terra Luna is pumping so heavy, because as that line goes up, more and more Terra Luna is being burnt and taken out of circulation.
Right.
But it's not only that. So their stable coin is completely decentralized, has no ties to anything ever.
Right.
But even within their ecosystem, like Anchor is a big project on their ecosystem, Anchor protocol.
Right.
And for the past year, you can post up your stable coins over there and get a 20% APY.
Yeah.
So if you compare that to, I don't know, in traditional finance, maybe you get 1 or 2%, maybe 3%.
Right.
They're giving you 20, and it's been at 20 for a year, so it's extremely stable at 20. So that's very huge for guys.
For sure.
For whales within crypto. Especially at times like this when there's uncertainty in the market. They don't go into dollars and back to their bank. What they do is they go into stable coins and they just put it into a very safe place where they can earn the most yield, but also feel safe that it's there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And this is the argument for Terra Luna. It really is. And I'm willing to bet, and I am betting because I own a lot of Terra Luna. It's one of my biggest holdings.
Yeah.
That no matter what happens in the market, Terra Luna is going to continue to pump. And I bet you very soon they're going to take over Binance for the number 4 spot in crypto.
Wow.
But I bet you by the end of the year, they're competing with Ethereum as far as total value locked.
Wow.
In the DeFi ecosystem. Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know we've talked about Terra Luna a bit on this channel. And going back to the 20%, really, I mean, you hear that and you're like, that's really good. But if you really think about that, the everyday maybe trader or holder might not have a lot, but man, when you start getting up there, 20% means a lot. Especially if you've got $1 million, $2 million, $5 million sitting there, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Yeah.
Just to give you a little perspective on how big 20% really is.
Mm-hmm.
I can find much higher yields in crypto, but it's always with a little more risk.
For sure. Yeah.
But on average, if you got 9 or 10% return in the stock market a year,
mm-hmm.
that's a good year.
Right.
That's an above par good year. That's an A performance. You're happy with your broker at that point.
Right.
That's 9 or 10% with variance and no guarantee.
Right.
Anchor on Terra Luna is offering you 20% guaranteed. There's no variance. It's going to be 20%. That's what it's going to be. That's what you're going to get. And for guys whales,
yeah,
their number one concern is wealth preservation. They're not trying to hit home runs and take all kinds of risks. It's all, once you have wealth, mm-hmm. preservation is no one's concern.
Right.
Like a new guy in crypto, wealth preservation is his concern. He wants to take as many risks as possible to hit that home run, to get to $1 million or $2 million, mm-hmm. and build off of that.
Right. The
whale's already there. He doesn't want to take excess risk.
Yeah. And
this is the power of stable coins and Terra Luna. And to be honest, I'm very bullish on it.
Yeah, I mean that's what a great strategy too, right? You're right though about sort of traditional stock market and that return. Why wouldn't you, when you get into the multi-millions of dollars and wealth preservation is your goal, why wouldn't you take a 20% guaranteed return with not a lot of risk? That would be silly not to, right? I mean,
lots of people who aren't familiar with crypto, their safe play is getting a real estate.
Right.
Which I totally understand. Actually, I also like real estate, but
right.
But you're not going to average 20% return on your real estate. Like you might have a 20% year, but in general, 3 to 4% is a good year of appreciation value on real estate.
Right.
Once again, that 20% is very attractive.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there's always a potential of downside, but when that's diminished as much as possible, why would you not play? I mean, why that seems silly to, and look, it's that exciting sort of Vegas style gambling that goes on, especially at the lower levels, to do what you talked about, where you want to hit a couple home runs and get to that upper level. But when you get there, man, just be smart about it, but be smart with a good return, So,
absolutely. Yeah.
This is good stuff, man. And going back to the decentralized thing, that's super important. I this is just my opinion, and I'd like to hear yours. It would be to me, it's not a great thing when all of a sudden we've got all this new crypto stuff, but then they just sort of mimic or are in actuality centralized, right? It kind of defeats, in my mind, the allure of the whole thing to start with.
It's a great point, John. It really is. Yeah. So, I mean, when I was in college, globalization was the big talk.
Right.
Taking down borders, becoming a globalized economy, connect to as many other countries and industries, and become as intertwined as possible.
Right.
But like all ideas, there takes some time to play it out, and you mm-hmm. start seeing the other side of it. Right. So right now we're seeing the other side of it. So we're so intertwined and we're so globalized that when something happens in Europe, like, for example, if their debt from Russia isn't getting paid off,
right,
their problems are going to travel to our banks.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's going to travel to everything else. So that's like a downside of globalization. I see so what's happening with the war effort and all this stuff and how the governments are reacting to it. Mm-hmm. This all shows the power and the need for decentralization.
Right. Absolutely.
We really don't need our government to do that much.
Yeah.
Like, governments across the world have become, in my opinion, way too controlling and way too big. Ultimately, governments were started to do things that a society couldn't do without. Like, for example, freeways, highways, things like that, right?
Sure.
But now they're in every aspect of our lives, and now it's kind of the point where if you're just a Russian citizen and you have a bank account in Europe, now it's been locked up. Well, you personally didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
But they have that power over you.
Yes, they do.
I think people are waking up to that.
Yeah. No, I mean, this has been sort of our mantra since day one of doing these episodes, is the power of putting money back in the hands of the people, and that power back in the hands of the people. Because in the end of the day, I mean, I don't want to be, I don't want to think too highly of myself, but I can handle my money better than the government can. So,
Guaranteed.
100%. So maybe some people can't, but I mean, we've all seen those people, but I know I can. And so I love that power being back in my hands. So Jason, this is great, man. Thank you so much for taking some time today. We'll do some more stuff in upcoming episodes along these lines. But yeah, Terra Luna is awesome, and I'm involved. I know you are too, obviously. It's good stuff.
John, family, I appreciate it.
You bet. We'll do another one soon.
You got it.
All right, take care.